Hey, Master Coach G here. Welcome to this episode of Thriving After 50, Mind, Body, Soul. And as I mentioned, I am going to be wrapping up this month that we covered the 6 pillars / principles to better health and wellness. I'm going to put everything together in one episode, and I'm going to tell you how you can apply these 6 principles and get the results, lasting results, because at that point it become a lifestyle, habit, routine, lifestyle. So before I get into that, I wanted to give a shout out to all my listeners, the United States, appreciate y'all, Belgium, Ireland, Canada, Russia Federation, Mexico, United Kingdom, Brazil, and France. Want to give a shout out to y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you for listening. Thank you so much. So getting back to the 6 pillars and principles, I personally applied these pillars to improve my health and quality of life. I eliminated diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high A1C, obesity, acid reflux, all with no medication, simply from applying these 6 principles / pillars that I applied, that I got the results. I have been able to maintain my weight and health, cholesterol, A1C, weight, blood pressure, all that. I've been able to manage that now for 10 years from simply continuing to apply these 6 principles. So here are the 6 principles pretty much in a nutshell. I may go a little bit over today, may not, but just to kind of give you a forewarning to let you know that, because I want to kind of bring this all together and give you some tips that you will be able to apply so that you can get some lasting results as well. The first thing I had to start with was my mindset, because my mindset played a critical role on how I dealt with all those conditions. My mindset was because it was a challenge, knowing that I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high A1C, overweight, acid reflux so bad that I couldn't lay down. That was a challenge to have to manage all that information all at one time. So my mindset had to change about my health. That was the first thing. And then I had to start to utilize some tools that as I started the journey that I learned along the way, which was the 6 pillars, principles, if you will. So here's what I know, that if you want to better manage your health and improve your quality of life, if you want to do that, you have to change your mindset. It all starts with the mindset. If you want to change your health, you have to change your mindset about your health. That's where it all started for me. And it continues to, I continue to apply that principle because now that I'm 66, 67 this year, I understand how important my health is. And I know that as I get older, things will not continue to function as they once did. So therefore, I do have to be aware, which takes us back to the 3 A's. I do have to be aware of the fact that my body is not going to function the same as it did at 30, 40, even 50. So that is my mindset. So I govern myself according to that. So here's a tip that I think will help you. Basic, very basic, are the 3 A's. If you go back to the 3 A's, which is awareness, accountability, and adjustments, and you apply those 3 principles to mindset, these things, they will help you to be able to get to the point where you have the ability to understand, this is my mindset and these are the things that I'm going to apply. Because again, if you want to change your mindset, your health, then you have to change your mindset about your health. That's the tip. Okay. The second thing we talked about was habit. You don't decide your future. Your habits decide your future. So whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's overeating, not exercising, not drinking enough water, not getting enough sleep, whatever it is, whatever the habit is, good or bad. It could be where you're getting enough of all those things. But those are the things that decide your future. Those are the things that decide your health. Those are the things that decide your quality of life. So you have to learn how to manage those things. And that is because our habits governs that. It governs our lives. Research has shown that half of our daily routine are habits. We do it without even thinking about it. It's like you put your sock or your shoe on the same foot every day. If you don't believe me, start paying attention. Become aware of what foot you put your shoe or your sock on every single day. Just make a note of it, and you do it without now that you're going to be aware of it, but before that you were not aware of it. However, if you want to change that habit and say, okay, I don't want to put my shoe on the left foot first, I want to put it on my right foot. So now you have to be aware that you're putting the shoe on the left foot first, and now you want to change that habit. So every time you go to put it on the left foot, you have to say, nope, I'm going to change it and put it on the right foot. So the awareness and being accountable for that behavior allows you to make the adjustment to put it on the other foot. So habits are things that we do on a daily basis and don't even realize it, whether it's a drive. How many times have you, and I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, but it has happened to me probably on more than one occasion, I must say. But have you ever moved and you drove back to that location only because out of habit you're used to just driving there, maybe for like the first day or two, maybe. But this happened to me. I have moved locations, and when I leave the store or whatever, I would automatically just drive back to where I used to live. It was a habit. You don't think about it. You get in the car and you drive. It's a habit. That's how habits are. So in order to be able to change a habit, you have to be aware of it. And I think that's why there's so much attention by specialists, that they spend so much time writing about, establishing, positive habits, because it does serve us well in order to have good habits. So here's a tip. To improve your habits, you have to be aware of them. That's number one. Go back to the which foot do you put your shoe or sock on first? Okay, be aware of the habits. If it's something that you don't want, if it's an unwanted habit, then you have to be aware of the habit, and then you can acknowledge that, okay, this is a habit. No judgment with the acknowledgement, because then you'll start justifying it. No judgment once you acknowledge it, and then you can make the adjustments. Because if that habit is no longer serving you, then and you're aware of that, then at that point it becomes a little bit easier to practice the habit, if you will, okay? Especially if it no longer serves you. But you have to be able to discover that. That's the thing. It's like I can tell you that all day, but until you discover that, then you won't really get it. So here's the tip. Come up with some reasonable goals to practice, okay? Nothing outrageous. You can start with the foot, with the shoe thing, or the sock thing, whichever you do. If you wear socks and socks, footies, whatever, you start with that. Because practice becoming aware. That's the key right there. Practice becoming aware of your habits, of what it is that's unwanted. And once you start to do it, then at that point that you're aware of it, then you correct it. And then you start replacing it with what it is that you do want to do. Okay? So that's the tip on how you practice on changing a habit. Because again, we do it without thinking about it. So then you have to develop that. So please understand that, and that's a process. You do have to develop it, and the way you develop it is by practicing it. Okay? Then you repeat it, and then you move on to the next goal. Set realistic goals. Okay? Don't do anything outrageous that you're not going to meet. Just do something small. You can eat an elephant one bite at a time. You can't eat the whole elephant at once. So take small bites, set the goal, realistic goals, and then go from there. Okay? That's the tip. Okay. The next thing is the benefit of physical activity, which was one of my favorite subjects. So here's the thing. The immediate benefits of physical activity is that it is one of the most important things for our health. Movement is important. Movement is important. I can't stress that enough. Because if you don't move, you lose it. You know, it's like, people think, well, I have arthritis and the more I move, the worse it gets. No, the more you move, the better it gets. It may be painful in the beginning. I'm not saying get out here and run a marathon. I'm just saying that a little movement every day will definitely help you. It just helps you just be doing just normal physical activity. And here's the other things that it helps. It helps your brain health. It helps manage your weight. It reduces the risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high A1C, diabetes, obesity. It also strengthens your bones and muscles. Okay? That's what physical activity does. It improves your ability for everyday activity. It just improves that. It helps you to be able to do that with no stress or strain. It also helps you to manage your weight. And I know a lot of people are struggling with weight. They want to lose 10 pounds. It's almost summertime. It's almost time to get on the beach and they want to lose about 10 pounds. Well, start moving around, some physical activity. And I'm going to give you some tips, a simple tip that you can do. Anybody can do it, okay? Physical activity helps you to manage your weight. If you can work your way up to 150 minutes a week of moderate physical activity. Now, that could include dancing, yard work, swimming, jogging, aerobics, zumba, whatever it is. The goal is to work your way up to achieving 100 and walking. Let's not leave that out. The goal is to work your way up to 150 minutes a week, okay? That's about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Now, if you can do that, then you're doing good, okay? I recommend walking. And the reason why I recommend walking, because it is the best thing that you can do. Find a relatively soft surface. I don't recommend that you walk on concrete. If you can prevent from walking on concrete, it's better for your knees. However, walking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week will definitely help you improve your health. It will help you reduce the risk of obesity. It will help you reduce the risk of high cholesterol, diabetes, high A1C. So walking is a good form of physical activity, okay? Now, I know you say 30 minutes. Oh, I can't do 30 minutes. Well, here's a simple way to get 30 minutes in every day. Walk out the door and walk in any direction, and walk 15 minutes in any direction, and then walk back 15 minutes, and you just walk 30 minutes. That is the tip, and I know anybody can do that. 15 minutes in any direction, 15 minutes back, and you just walk 30 minutes, okay? You can do that 5 days a week. I need you to work your way up to 5 days a week. If you don't start off with 5 days a week, hey, start off with 1 day a week. Then the next week, do it 2 days a week. And then the next week, do it 3 days a week. And then the next week, do it 4 days a week. I need you to increase it every single day until you get to 5 days. Okay, I'm not expecting you to start off at 5 days. However, the goal is 5 days a week. That is the goal, okay? So, and I know anybody can do that. Let me tell you something. When I started walking, I walked off 117 pounds from walking. I walked and I prayed. I walked and I prayed, and I asked God, give me the answer to what it's going to take for my body to be completely healed. You created my body. You know my body. You have the answers. I am seeking the answers. So I did not stop until He gave me these 6 principles. And that's exactly how I'm able to maintain my health 10 years later. Actually, it's over 10 years, but 10 years later, I have been able to still maintain my health from these 6 principles, okay? Now, let's go to number 4. When you hear them say you are what you eat, you are what you eat. Every time you eat and drink, you are either feeding a disease or you're fighting a disease. Let me say that again. Every time you eat and drink, you're either feeding a disease or you're fighting a disease. It's your choice. So you are what you eat. Absolutely, you are. Now, here's another important factor about what we eat. Portion size matters. Don't overload the plate. Don't have food hanging all over. I know the macaroni and cheese is good. It's baked macaroni. I get it. I know it's good, but you don't have to cover the whole plate with macaroni and cheese, okay? Portion size matters. Everybody's body is a different size. So if you took your fist right now, you made a fist right now. If you look at the size of your fist, everything on your plate should be portion size according to your fist. So if you're eating rice and you put rice on your plate, then you should just put your fist over. Don't touch the rice now. I'm just saying. You put it over there and you see, does it line up? Is this the size of my fist? That's what you should be eating, whether it's rice, potato salad, chicken, roast, it doesn't matter. No larger than your fist. No larger, because portion size matters, okay? Because you want to have a healthy, balanced diet, because you want to make sure that you are reducing the risk of having a bad diet. And because having a bad diet, let me say this, having a bad diet is linked to the top 4 leading causes of death, okay? Heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, just to name a few, okay? Just to name a few. And a lot of people are dealing with diabetes, and it's not just people who are 50 plus. I go to the gym with a young lady who's 32 who has high blood pressure, on medication for high blood pressure at 32. So it's not just people who are 50 plus. Yes, this show is geared toward 50 plus, but, you know, for someone to be 32 years old and be diagnosed with high blood pressure, that's a problem. To me, I'm just saying to me, you know, I know everybody may not agree with that, but here we go. Listen, if you can reduce the risk of having heart disease, cancer, stroke, or diabetes, why wouldn't you do that? So here's the thing. If you want to eliminate that or even better reduce your risk, and you know that you overeat, okay, so here's what I want you to do, because I know that, you know, you can't do this at one time. You cannot do this at one time because this is a lot of information. But here's the thing. If you do a little bit at a time, okay, so let's say that you eat meat and a lot of carbs, okay, so what you do is, if you eat that 5 days a week, then what I'm saying to you is start off with eliminating something off that plate that you want to eliminate. Let's say you want to eliminate eating a lot of carbs. So what you do is you say, okay, well, one day out the week, I'm going to reduce the amount of carbs that I eat. Then the next day, I'm going to eliminate the carbs, the amount of carbs that I eat, okay, and get to a healthy place with my carbs, okay? So being aware of reducing that is a good place to start, okay? Because you may not, you know, like my daughter has a thing for fried chicken, you know, and she's like, oh man, it's not like the hardest thing to give up, you know? So then if you eat fried chicken 3 days a week, then say, you know what? I'm going to only eat it 2 days a week. So I'm just asking you to slowly, gradually back off from it, because it's harder to go cold turkey. It's hard. So what I'm saying is do a little bit at a time, one bite of the elephant at a time, until you get to the place where you want to be. Set realistic goals. This week, I'm going to do 1 day a week. Next week, I'm going to do 2 days a week. The following week, I'm going to do 3 days a week, and slowly back out of that thing. Okay? That is the tip, because you want to totally eliminate whatever that bad habit is when it comes to your eating. If you want to eliminate it, this is a good way to do it, okay? Number 5 is sleep, and why it's so important, okay? The first thing is that our body resets itself. It automatically resets itself while we're sleeping, because when we're moving around, our organs and cells and everything else is moving around. But when we're sleeping, our body gets a chance to regenerate the cells and the tissues and all that stuff. So that's why sleep is so important. It's very, very important. And I know people don't look at it as being an important factor to your health, but it's just as important as eating right and exercising. It's equally important. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand the importance of sleep and the sleep patterns and the quality of sleep, because when you sleep, you want to get good quality sleep. And sleep actually helps you to reduce diseases as well. It really does. And when you talk about chronic diseases that include heart disease, Heart disease is linked to bad sleeping habits. Alzheimer's and dementia is linked to bad sleeping habits over time. So yes, sleep is very important. We should get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep every night. Minimum, bare minimum, 7 hours. Okay. So here is what I want you to do, and here's the tip. The first thing is to set a realistic bedtime. Okay. If you want to improve your bedtime, so let's say you go to bed at 11, but you want to go to bed at 10. Okay, so set a realistic bedtime. Don't say, well, I go to bed at 11, but I want to be in bed by 9. Okay, well, that may not be realistic. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if you're in bed by 11, but you want to be in bed by 10, then here's the thing. So that's a realistic goal. Okay, so first thing is to set the realistic goal, and then an hour before that, which would be 9 o'clock. So if you want to be in bed at 10, at 9 p.m., 1 hour before that, you have to shut everything down. No TV, no music, no phone, no Facebook, no computer, no tablet, no nothing. I'm talking about shut everything down. Go to a quiet place and prepare your mind and your body for sleep, okay? So for the first 30 minutes, I just want you to basically just meditate, do some deep breathing, releasing the thoughts, worries, and anxiety of the day, just releasing all that stuff. You don't need to take it with you when you get into bed. So you need to spend some time releasing those things, whatever those thoughts are, whatever anxieties you had, whatever worries you had throughout the day. You need to spend time in meditation, releasing those things, and then do some deep breathing, just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Do that. Get into bed, lay on your back, relax your whole entire body, from your head, your shoulders, your chest, your abdomen, your hips, your legs, all the way down to your feet. Relax everything, your mind, and then just lay there, and the next thing you know, you'll fall asleep, and you'll fall into a good deep sleep. Okay, that is the tip. If you can follow that, you will get some good sleep. Okay, but setting the goal is going to be the trick. Okay, and being able to shut everything down on time without saying, "Oh, I got to do this." Nope. When I say shut it down, I mean shut it down. Okay. The last thing is that we talked about was why stay hydrated. Okay. Now, I know that people think, oh, it's summertime. Yes, I got to drink enough water, but hydration is important throughout the whole entire year. Okay. And getting enough water is very important to your health. Okay. Because not drinking enough water can cause like unclear thinking. You kind of get into a brain fog, if you will. It can also change your mood. It can cause your body to overheat. You can get headaches, constipation, kidney stones, and you don't want to deal with all that. So water is important. Okay, here's the thing about water. It has no calories, so the good thing is you can really pretty much drink as much as you want, especially in the summertime, because your body definitely needs more water. And there is also a thing of over drinking water. So I will actually give you the tip on how much water you should consume on a daily basis at the end of this. But water helps you to manage your weight because it reduces the calories, because you're not taking in any calories with water. So that's the good thing about water. But you should definitely substitute your soft drinks, soda, sweet tea with water. And when I say substitute, so if you drink sweet tea or sodas 5 days a week, then again, go back to that same method. It works. Say, okay, instead of having it 5 days, I'm going to drink 4 days, Then next week, instead of 4 days, I'm going to do 3 days, and just kind of back out of it and just drink more water. And I'm also going to tell you how, which is a good way to be able to consume more water as well. Water is good for you because it helps our cells, our organs, our tissues. It helps to maintain our body temperature so that it can function. our bodies need to be able to function. Our organs need water. It helps to optimize the flow of oxygen. It is responsible for carrying the nutrients to our cells. It levels our blood pressure. It aids in our digestive system. It protects our organs and our tissues. It also cushions our joints for just regular daily activity. As you get older, that cushion in between your joints become thinner and thinner to the point at some point it will just kind of not be there anymore. And I can, be a witness to that. And then that's when you have arthritis. But while you do have it, you can actually kind of prolong it by drinking water. It definitely helps to keep that cushion so that you can move around more easily. It also helps you to maintain and balance your electrolytes as well. Okay. Here are the tips. You should consume half of your body weight in water on a daily basis, okay? So let's say you weigh 100 pounds. You should consume 50 ounces of water a day, according to your weight. That's half of your body weight in ounces, 50 ounces a day. How many of a bottles that equal? That's what you should drink on a daily basis. That is what your body would needs in order for it to do everything, distribute it to all your organs and your cells and your tissues and your joints and all that stuff. However, if you are on any type of medication daily, I definitely strongly suggest that you drink an extra bottle of water daily, because what you want to do is you want to flush out as much toxin from the medication as you possibly can. So drink one extra bottle of water a day just to kind of get that that the toxins out of your body. Another tip is every time you go to use the restroom, drink a bottle of water after that. Replace what you just released. Replace and replenish what you just released. So every time you go to the restroom, drink a bottle of water. Here's another tip. Add fruit to your water. You can add like melons. You can do cantaloupe, honeydew melon, watermelon. You can do mint leaves. You can do cucumbers. You can do celery. Make sure that you're consuming the fruit the food that has that's high in water. Like the lettuce and the celery. And vegetables as well. Cabbage has a lot of water. So consume food that has a lot of water, that's high in water. That will definitely help you with your water intake as well. Again, add some mint leaves, cucumbers, melon, lemon, limes, whatever you like. Add a little flavor to it, because the first thing I hear from people is like, oh, water is boring. Okay, I get it. But add some flavor. It will help you to drink water more often. Get you a container and keep it with you. Keep water in your car. Always carry the container with you so you can always refill. Make sure you have a good supply of water in your home. Always make sure that you can refill your container so that you always, always, always have water, because you need water. Okay. Now, those are all the 6 pillars, principles in a nutshell. If you apply these 6 principles, I can guarantee you that you will be able to see your health improve and your quality of life. Guaranteed. I can guarantee you, if you apply these 6 principles, I can guarantee you that you will see your health improve and your quality of life. Hey, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it has added some value to your life. And remember, knowledge applied is power. This is Master Coach G, and I'll see you on the next level.